Hello my fellow Archons and welcome to day 5 of KeyForge Christmas. Today I wanted to cover my favorite Unchained deck with you guys, show you what all is in it, and tell you guys why I like it so much. But I got this deck during the Winds of Exchange Game Found campaign, when you were able to add a Unchained display to your pledge, so I opened this from that display that I added to my pledge. But yeah, I actually really enjoy this deck. I used it in one of the ABR leagues. I think it was like, I don't remember which season it was, but I used it in ABR, which is why it has these super cool ABR card sleeves. It looks like the ABR Season 9 card sleeves. That might be the season I used this deck in. But I figured I used it in that league, I'll sleeve it up. And it's like one of the only Unchained decks I actually have sleeved, because the rest of them, you know, Unchained decks are just kind of lame. They're kind of lame. I like them. I like the Maverick aspect of them, but I mean, overall, they're just cards. They're just KeyForge cards all slammed together, and that's about it. Especially with Menagerie decks on the way. Menagerie decks, I think, are just the cooler and better version of Unchained decks. But this Unchained deck I really enjoy. Has houses Equidon, Logos, and Mars. E. Aardvark, the Apothecary Thespian, with the Equidon Diplomat token. Elusive, after reap, each player gains one. Let's get into it. All right, so starting off with the Equidon, we have Transitory Philosopher, Market Crash, a really nice board wipe, Sandhopper, Trade Secrets, we got 2 copies of Trade Secrets, TRE Esquire, Auction Off for some artifact control, Forced Retirement, Gemcoat Vendor, Hire On, Ornate Talking Tray, and Steward Suit Zane. And then moving into the Logos, we have Science, Cumex, a really cool Logos Maverick of pull-up stakes. A Maverick that you would never see apart from Unchained, since Logos isn't in Winds of Exchange where pull-up stakes comes from. But yeah, this is a pretty cool Maverick. Then we have Causal Loop, Reverse Time, Sloppy Labwork, Library of Babel with an Ember, Pocket Universe, Eddy, Information Exchange, Universal Recycle Bin with an extra Ember, Siren Horn, another Maverick, a Logos Siren Horn, which also looks super cool. I like the blue of the artwork clashing with the blue of the frame, Logos frame. Then heading into the Mars, we have Kaboom, Battlefleet, Carpet Flotsam, Phosphorus Stars, Compod with a Draw, Hypno Beam. And we actually got 3 Hypno Beams, some super cool and very interesting form of like board control kinda. You take control of an enemy creature, and then if it belongs to like Equidon, Logos, or Mars, then you can get some even more interesting and unique synergies going on. But if it's like a creature out of house with like a passive effect or something, then you might be able to get some cool synergies there. We've got 3 Hypno Beams, a Flotsam Spike, and then the Martian Generosity, the big key card of this deck, the big Martian Generosity, and then 2 Yxoa Bolters. Unfortunately, no key abduction for like a Genka Unchained deck. That would have been really cool. But at the very least, it does have the Martian Generosity, which combos really cool with some of the stuff in this deck. So obviously, Martian Generosity, lose a whole bunch of Ember, and then draw a whole ton of cards. And then once you've played this, to draw a whole ton of cards, maybe into some more Mars stuff, then you've got this Battlefleet, so you can reveal maybe like 6 or 7 Mars cards from your hand, and then draw 6 or 7 Mars, or just draw 6 or 7 more cards from the Battlefleet and fill up your hand even more. And then also, you have this Compod, so if this is out already, then you can reveal those Mars cards again, and then ready Mars creatures. So you have your Mars Compod out, you could play out a couple of the Yxoa Bolters, and then say trigger that, reveal like a couple of these Hypno Beams to ready both of them and then use them instantly. So there's some pretty cool stuff just right there in the Mars. But the thing I like most about this Martian Generosity, after you've drawn an absolute ton of cards, probably maybe some Equidon cards, is then let's say you have this hand full of like, maybe you got like 8 or 9 Equidon cards now. And then you got these 2 Trade Secrets. So you can play a Trade Secrets, discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's say like 7, maybe a couple extra Equidon cards for a massive steal of like 7 or 8 all at once. So I really like that. The Martian Generosity can enable some pretty neat combos. I mean, as always, like just having a Martian Generosity and having like an entire house in your hand is obviously going to do some major work. And then you can also set up an archive for it with things like the Eddy and the Sloppy Labwork and the Causal Loop. There's some good stuff there. Science for some burst. The extra Ember Pips and the Logos enable some extra burst as well. And then the Pocket Universe, if the opponent doesn't have any artifact control, then you can safely store your Ember away on the Pocket Universe. Get some extra card draw with the Library of Babel. Reverse Time, I haven't really experimented with the reverse time very much, but you might be able to get some kind of funky stuff, maybe early, maybe get that Martian Generosity back or something. I don't really know, but I haven't really experimented with that one very much. But yeah, so then like getting all this stuff into your hand as well, getting those extra Ember Pips and whatnot, it's really fun. Then the triple Hypno Beam, obviously, like I was saying before, you can get some pretty cool synergies out of. Maybe if you steal Mars creatures from the opponent's side of the board, and then use the Compod to ready those enemy Mars creatures that you just took control of, that could be pretty neat. You got those Phosphor Stars. What else was there? Oh yeah, and the Kaboom. So there's only 2 Mars creatures in this deck, but I mean, even with just those 2, I think there's still some pretty cool stuff you can do with it. Kaboom is just going to destroy pretty much everything every time with only 2 Mars creatures. And then as for token generation, there is actually a decent amount of token generation. There is a little bit. Thierry Esquire can really do some good token generation. There's the Ornate Talking Tray, the Hieron, and then I think those are the only cards. Transitory Philosopher is cool for stealing Ember as well. Market Crash for some more board control. So that's 2 like full-on board wipes in this deck, which is cool. And then there's the Auction Off for the artifact control, like I said before. Sandhopper is a really neat card. Return a friendly creature to its owner's hand. If you do, you may play a non-Ecodon creature from your hand. So that's cool for getting to play things like the Eddy on an Ecodon turn. Or even the Q-Mex, I guess, for some extra card draw. Yeah, overall, it's a lot of fun. Aardvark, the Apothecary's Thespian. Like I said, like most of my Unchained decks, and most Unchained decks out there are just kind of lame. They're just kind of a random conglomerate of cards that don't do a whole lot. But with the Martian Generosity enabling big trade secrets plays, being able to archive it away with the Logos, and this deck also has good board control and artifact control. There's overall just a lot of cool plays. Obviously, there's the cool Mavericks as well. But yeah, I just wanted to share this deck with you guys for day 5 of KeyForge Christmas. Oh yeah, and Battlefleet, like Martian Generosity and Battlefleet all in one deck. It's kind of cool. Triple Hypno Beam. So yeah, it was fun playing this deck in ABR and everything, but yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys. It's a pretty simple deck. I mean, it's the Martian Generosity, the trade secrets, and then archiving it. And then you just have some answers to what the opponent is doing. So it's really simple, but it's a lot of fun to play. And yeah, I was glad to open it. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you all again for day 6 of KeyForge Christmas tomorrow. It'll be a good one. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on a single day of KeyForge Christmas. And then obviously you can also become a channel member by hitting that join button down below to gain access to exclusive content and emotes. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again in the next one. See you later.